Good morning.
Good
Another episode of On the
morning.
Drive.
Early in the morning.
It is early in the morning. So today's topic is, let's talk about some things that we have learned.
Oh,
I don't know that it's lessons learned because I don't think anything bad happened to create them.
you want to know one thing I've learned?
What?
I sure do get better looking every day.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes. I
My
mean,
goodness.
ain't that why you married me? Because I'm just
Absolutely.
one gorgeous hunk of man?
Always.
All right, I'm
Yes.
just making sure.
Yes.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
It does. It really does. So, do you want to start, honey? What's something that you've learned or that we have learned that maybe we need to share the knowledge?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that I've learned.
Yes.
And I waited way too long to do it, even though I already had purchased it, is the tray, MORryde tray or whatever you use, for the sliding trays that you can put in your RV, in your storage or whatever you'd like to call it, to be able to slide stuff out closer to you. So you're not having to bend and get crazy. And
Well, everybody I see is like usually whatever you need is in the boxes in the middle, so you have to pull all the boxes
Exactly.
out,
yes,
and then you have to put them all back
that's it.
because the one thing you need happens to be in a box in the middle.
And it's not, a lot of times it's not in a box, and you don't have to have it in a box, but you can pull it out. And I chose, luckily, to get the 80% one that'll pull out 80% of its length.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, to me, a game changer. There's no fighting, breaking your back, trying to pull things, and like you said, unload and load stuff to get it back in there and to get it off of there. And you can pull it out without even touching it and just look, because you use clear boxes.
Sure.
I learned that too, I guess. A lot of this has come from watching other people's YouTube too, but using clear boxes so you don't have to open the lid, so you know what's in it.
Well,
You can see through it.
that's the nice thing about YouTube, is that we can learn from each other, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what the purpose of this video is. We're not experts by any means, but we have learned a couple of things, and the trays is one of them.
That's for sure. If I could put trays in every single compartment, and I did, I actually looked to see if it was possible.
And I think that we talked about that too on our other episode where we were talking about things we would change
Yeah,
about our Brinkley Z2900.
which just falls in line with you learn along the way.
And we talked about, would it be cool if we could do some low profile trays?
Yes,
That
a
would
lower
be-
profile. If you can come out with a low profile, still strong tray that has a 1-inch lip or just enough to hold the box.
Sure.
It's steady
Sure.
and doesn't take up height.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all different sizes. That would be tough to manufacture all that, but still, yes, be very cool.
Yes.
Hey, you want to know what else I learned?
What else did you learn?
Well, the water. I didn't really think about it, but for a long time, we've been hooking up to the campsite's water, which is
With
fine.
the pressure regulator.
Yeah. We've been hooking up to the campsite's water and using theirs.
Sure.
Or using the water there. And a lot of times the water pressure is just terrible,
Yes.
too low.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we didn't even really know it until I don't even remember who it was. We saw somebody say, hey, when you get to a campground, best practice, fill your freshwater tank up.
I didn't hear them say for pressure purposes. And they said it in case the campground's water gets turned off.
True.
So both ways. But when we did it, I did it for pressure, and then you're working off of your pump, and wow, it made a difference.
It made a huge difference when you're taking a shower.
Now we don't leave the water in the tank. Obviously, when you leave, we drain
No.
the tank and all that
No.
kind of stuff.
But to be clear, when you get to a campground, you still have your water pressure regulator. But
Yep.
the first thing we do is fill up our freshwater tank.
Yep.
And then we turn on the water pump so that when we use the water from the tank, it, uses the pump. Well, that gives us more water pressure inside the trailer. Even when, like for instance, the last place we went, Fosque Creek, it was what, 2 gallons a
per minute.
per minute
Very
water. Could you imagine taking a shower and rinsing your hair with 2 gallons per minute?
I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, I can take a shower.
That's
and rinse
because
my-
your hair's so long.
Well, I mean, don't be hating it. I mean,
So, but it was just, I mean, it was when we discovered that, I guess, it clicked after hearing people say it. That was kind of a big deal. So now that's the way we do it. And that's kind of a big deal. And in that circumstance, when you leave your campsite, the water can be off and you're okay. Yep. Right? I mean, we could fill the tank up, turn the water off, and we're okay.
Well, yes, but you would turn the pump off when you leave.
Okay.
Although, if you're not using the water in the tank, then you turn the water off at the spigot in case you leave and there's a leak. It'll feed it. Same thing applies if you leave and you're using your water tank with your water pump. If there's a leak, then your water pump's going to turn on and keep pumping. So you turn your water pump off when you leave too.
Oh,
if
that's
you're using
smart.
the tank water.
That's smart. Didn't think about that. Was there any other learned tidbits?
Yes. We bought bikes, so we had to be able to carry the bike, so we bought a bike rack to put on the back of the RV. Great idea. It's worked out great. The problem is you can't open the back door on our current unit with the bikes on there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even open the door without the bikes on there unless you move the little trays that hold the tires.
Sure.
Or hold the tire of the bike.
Sure.
So that's kind of something that I learned. I don't like that at all, that I can't open the back door.
Now, let's be clear. The bike rack's great.
Yes.
The bike rack that you've got, and it keeps it far away that I saw some other people where the bikes actually hit the back windows on our unit.
You're right. And I guess they possibly still could if
we kept
our
the
bikes,
handlebars up.
No, yeah. Our bike, but most normal bikes, can't fold the handlebars down.
Gotcha.
So
ours are folding.
Yep.
Electric
so you can
bikes.
fold the handlebars down, which probably saves us. I don't know if it would hit the window with the handlebars up or not. But yes, you're right.
Be careful because it flexes, and if you don't want to hit your back window, so be mindful of that.
And
if you get a Z2900.
Well, it'd be the same thing on.
Well, any rig with a windows in the back, honestly, but ours has rather large ones back there. So, but I'm sure others do too. But that's for sure.
And the problem with that is, like on our unit, that back door, it's a nice little holding area, and that's where I keep all the.
Whoops.
Where I keep
the
all
power of the Ford again.
That is the power of the Ford.
That's what you always say. So.
Yes. That's where I keep all the camping stuff: the tables, the chairs. So it's kind of difficult. You got to remove.
Obviously,
bikes.
We're not the professionals here.
Oh, most definitely professional.
Our lights fall, our camera falls. We're just winging it, guys. You're along for the ride, literally. So,
what have you learned?
I have learned something that's kind of weird. So, we've done all this focus and we did all this research for how to treat our black tank. We've gone through several different chemicals. I don't know that any one of them was better than the other. Do you? Or do you have a preference?
Well, that's probably a big debate.
Okay. So we've done several. And, I don't remember all of them, but I remember we have done Happy Camper. We are currently using liquefied. But, all of them have, smells or no smells. Well,
the black tank itself's got a nice old smell.
It does. So I learned, and it was we learned, and when you go, where are you going? You go the number. When you're going, and you have the MaxxAir fan going, because you do. You want that fan going. So when you're going and you get ready to finish up and flush, turn that fan off.
Exactly.
Turn the fan off. Because when you flush and you don't leave it open very long, when you flush, you
don't take long.
You get that flush and that thing closed as fast as possible. It will pull them smells right up if you have that fan going. So if you have black tank smell inside your rig, it's because you're leaving that fan on. Probably because you're leaving that fan on like normal when you're in the home. You're sucking all the bad air out.
It's a stink sucker upper.
Yes. Well, turn it off. Do everything in your power to go the total opposite of what you would do at a sticks and bricks home. Turn it off. When you get ready to flush, turn it off, and it will not pull the black tank smell up into your rig. And as the summer gets around and the warmer weather occurs, you will thank me for that later.
It's 100% accurate. If you have that fan on,
yes,
then it'll,
yes,
because it's got the air,
and it's not a pleasant smell.
Well, no, it's black tank.
It's black tank smell. So that was one thing that
was kind of neat when we learned that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was kind of a game changer a little bit, because when we first started, I think our shakedown was in like July, right? June or July. So it was warm, and it's not.
Well, those are some nice things to have learned.
Yes.
And I'm sure we're going to continue to learn, but
absolutely.
And definitely just wanted to
the only
share.
other thing is, I invested in all that shelf liner stuff. I got some of that Gorilla shelf liner, and then you get the museum putty. You put it in the four corners of it to keep it from sliding around. I would, if I could do it all over again, which one day I guess I could, I would probably get like rubber mat material and just cut it out so it lays there and you don't have to worry about bunching. You don't have to worry about any of that. But you have to be careful on the rubber material because some of them smell and you don't want that, depending on how you store your glasses and stuff. So I've seen other people just do the buckets and the baskets. Hey, if you put that Gorilla stuff on the bottom of that, you don't have to do the shelf liner.
Well,
you get those clear baskets and put your stuff in that. It makes it easier to take it down too. And, depending on what you do, I don't know. We're still, the jury's still out on that one of what to do. But I do know that, sometimes that it'll pull and it may be I don't have enough museum putty because I didn't want to like permanently put anything in. But yeah, that's still one that we're learning on. So if you guys have any tips or tricks on that, I would love to hear them from you. Seriously. Because I want to hear people.
I want to hear people agree with us on the fan when they sit there and try it and do it. Then they'll say, "But
that's a game changer."
Yeah.
Really, honestly, try it and then tell us how it worked for you. If you agree, if you already knew it, tell us. We want to hear from you. So, I guess that's it for today.
That's it for today.
So, as always, y'all have a great day.
See you later.